lot less of the federal government because actually I don't, I'm totally against the IRS too. I don't think we should have an income tax. That's the most ridiculous anti-freedom thing they ever created. But it's like, it's going to be a hard thing to change. Change takes a long time. I don't know which way the country's going,
Well,
but
but
some
uh, how,
founders wanted. They would have never wanted an IRS, and they would have never wanted the big giant bureaucracy. There's more people in the federal government work for the federal government today than were around in the whole country when they founded it.
all right, but Ed, what about Social Security and Medicare? Okay, some people, especially nowadays, companies can't have they just don't have the wherewithal for to finance a pension plan, okay, for their employees, or to offer
Well,
them.
they can give block grants to the states, and the states can work on Medicare that way and take care of the people that need taken care of.
And where's the government going to
And
get? Where's the government going to get the money from?
what's that?
Where's the federal government going to get the money from?
Well, the federal government actually, if they would just say, okay, you're responsible for your own people in the state, then the state government can use creative ways. Right? If what I would like is okay, we don't pay the taxes to the federal government; it stays in your state, and that then the states are responsible for the Social Security.
Well,
Well,
then what's going to happen. Every state is going to
But
have different laws, and
what,
people are going to go across state lines to try to go to another state that has better benefits, and ones that don't
well,
have much
not state
production.
laws, but once they get, they're only going to be able to claim on one, and if they'll share, their information with each other. And you're talking about the takers. I want more makers, and that's what we need: is more makers, not more takers.
No,
We,
well,
we do have some obligations.
we're talking
We
about
need
take.
some creative. Right now, what the federal government's doing is just putting deeper and deeper in debt, and they keep coming up with more, bureaucracy that's not, it's just eating out our substance, and that's why we're going so far in debt. We just got way too many. I mean, how many people do you want working for the federal government? Is 4 million enough, or do you want 50 million? And then we need to take on all the things, the
well,
takers instead of the producers. We need producers, not
well, you know
takers.
I can understand the federal government doing what private industry did. I mean, uh, 10, 15 years ago, private industry started to downsize, and as they would lose a position to attrition or retirement, they would have the workers, they would have designate a few people to do a little bit more rather than hire somebody. And they would give them a little bit of a raise, certainly not commensurate with the amount of work they're doing. That would be a problem. But they did tend to give them, a little bit more in salary to do those jobs, but they didn't replace the jobs. You know, so I mean, I would assume the government could do that. You know,
Well, the best thing the federal government could do is downsize and allow the states and the local areas to take care of their problems. Because the problems in Kansas are different than the problems in California, and are different
exactly.
than the problems. So the best thing to do is say, hey, you got your local, you guys work it out. You know, we're going to get back to what we're really supposed to do because the federal government isn't supposed to be doing all this social security, man. Guarding our borders and taking care of foreign affairs. And if disputes rise between states, they're supposed to try to resolve those problems.
Well,
And
that
that's the direction we need to. But unfortunately, too, Marxists want a one world order, one new world government, man. And there's people in D.C. and stuff that want to sell us out and say we got to do whatever UN tells us to do, which is BS. And that's another reason Trump won. Trump won because people are tired. of all the media and all their lies. And the media, they were so off on what the polls were. They couldn't even get close on it. They're idiots. They don't realize how the people are really feeling out here.
Well, the big thing after the election obviously was the media looked at themselves in the mirror critically and said, "How
Yeah.
on earth could we have gotten it so wrong?" Because everybody was predicting. Well, a year ago, everybody was predicting a Hillary landslide.
Because they weren't,
Well, what the other
go ahead.
people just little finger out and said to Mr. Media and all the idiots that believed in Mr. Media, we don't need your shit. We're gonna find our own way, and that's what they did. And I'm not a real big Trump fan. Believe me, I don't like his fact that he's coming out against the First Amendment. I don't think he's going to downsize D.C. He's not my guy, that's for sure. But
Well,
the American people, the working class people, were feeling left behind by the Marxist agenda that Obama was putting out there, especially when it starts talking about transgender schools, everything else, and then Hillary's coming around and allowing the borders to be open and bringing in all these people from Somalia and all these people from Iraq and stuff. They just had enough, and they just said, and the media couldn't see it coming. They're idiots. They got their own little agenda going, and they got their head in the sand of what the American people are really about.
Well, when you talk about, let's say, transgender schools, okay, I don't think they were really talking about schools specifically in that way. I think they were talking about, live and let live, they were saying. Leave the people alone. I mean...
wanted them in transgender bathrooms. He did.
Well, he did say that, but you know why they needed that? But
the federal government.
You're right. It may not be, but the thing is, you wouldn't need a transgender bathroom if people would just be accepting of the fact that people change and you shouldn't persecute people because they're different from you. Okay?
Oh, I agree with that. But the
and in all honesty,
you shouldn't be pushing transgenders things in Topeka, Kansas, or in Oklahoma. Like, what are you doing to us?
I got a are you calling from a cell phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're breaking up a little bit. That's all.
Here, let me try it. Is that better?
We're gonna have to talk. Yeah, it sounds like it. We're gonna have to talk a little bit more to see how it is. But yeah, it seems better.
Okay. Yeah. I think I have my speaker mode on. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Listen, in New York, there are a lot of they're not transgender bathrooms, but they're bathrooms for anybody. There's only one bathroom in restaurants.
Hey, you know what? I don't have. You know what? If that's like I said, I don't. We have this country is big enough. That's why we're the states. That's why we want 50 states deciding, not one D.C. ruling. And if New York likes that, that's beautiful. And if Las Vegas likes gambling and marrying the same day, divorce the next day, have abortion the same day, that's beautiful. But don't force it on the Bible. Well, don't force it on other people. It's just not, it's fine for your area, but other areas need to be different. And that's why the beauty of the United States, the states are the ones put together. And that way people have a choice to move to the states that's more, interesting and more their lifestyle.
Now, I wouldn't go to one of those bathrooms. Yeah.
What's that?
Listen, I wouldn't go walk into one of those bathrooms. I'd feel a little funny, But a lot of them are just, the restaurant's so small, it's only like one booth.
But
that's it.
That's not why the federal government was even implemented.
Oh no,
implemented. to guard, and it didn't guard the borders, and and they're bringing all these other refugees, and
Well,
they're giving all
hopefully,
this money. Like the guy in Ohio State had a free ride, free education. And what did he do? He went out and started running over people and
the
pulled out a
cause. No,
knife
I
and
agree
started
with you.
stabbing
Listen,
people.
Trump.
Do you understand why the media couldn't read? Because people are tired of the lies and they're tired.
Well, listen, the media was pro Hillary.
Yeah, all the way.
All the way.
About it.
And they were.
They even gave her. They even fed her. They even fed her some of the questions. And they tried to hide everything and say, "Oh yeah, she's gonna win. She's wonderful." They're the big. And American people are wise now. We realize that mainstream media is part of the banking system that's trying to manipulate us and do away with its state and the United States of America. They wanted the United Socialists of America.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
As they dictate.
Listen, I'm a fiscal conservative social liberal, but to a limit.
Yeah, you're a libertarian. That's a libertarian.
Yeah, basically, yeah, to a limit. Yeah, to a limit, No, I have I have no problem with the people if they want to get. I'm against abortion, but if somebody else wants it, I'm not going to stop them. It's not my right. But at the same time, I don't.
Exactly. And a good state would allow the communities to set up their own standards, and a good state would let the counties, if they feel that they want abortion, they can have them. The counties don't want it, they don't. There are counties, and it is really still working that way in this country. The federal government, there are counties in this country that do not have abortion clinics, and in the Bible Belt and stuff, they don't believe it. And that's the beauty. We need to get loud local control.
Well, I'll tell you.
And there are counties, like I said, Las Vegas. You can do just about anything you want there.
No, I was telling Mark. I don't know if you heard about Trump. Okay, Trump was talking about a 1 cent rule right off the bat. Everybody's got to spend 1 cent less than every dollar. Everybody in the government, no matter who they are.
Well, that's a great rule.
It is.
Too much government. I'd like to see him get rid of 10% of the government.
No, I'm just saying, but just as a small start, you spend $1, now you spend 99 cents. Everybody, doesn't matter who they are. Yeah. Right there, that'll save billions.
Or just get rid of the automatic increases for government, because government employees make more than the working class anymore. Yeah. Back in the days, in the 60s and 70s, working for a government, you didn't make much. Working, producing things, you made more. And that we need to get back to that strategy.
You kidding me now?
Pay the producers. The government's the takers. We want the producers.
Well, that's one of the that's some of the things that Trump was saying, which I like. I don't think he's as stupid as people will make him out to be, or as radical as people will make him out to be.
A guy that never ran for a political office ran for the highest in the world and won.
And you know what?
Yeah. And he went right to the hearts of the American people.
Okay. Yeah, listen, he said what he said was very simple.
A lot more intelligent than idiots on the radio, on the TV.
Yeah, not. Yeah. No, well, basically what what he did was he ran a constitutional type campaign. The Constitution said you got to have delegates. He went for the delegates. Didn't care about anything else. And Hillary was trying to get everybody to vote for her, and she got nobody to vote for her.
Well, she thought she had the blue state.
That's because
she thought she had Michigan.
Yeah.
She thought she had Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, North Carolina. She thought she had them made.
Why? Because that's what the media. Because the media was telling her that.
Well, no, it was because those were always Democratic strongholds, and she took it for granted. And in this day and age, you can't take anything for granted.
What it is, the Democrats are worse shape than ever. And what it is, they lost the working class. The working class
definitely
enough of this.
And
Democrats
and even the
lost the touch with working class people.
Well,
the producers that go out and work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, they have lost them.
Hey,
all they got is illegal immigrants and the black vote and